How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'd like to introduce you to 9 psychological ways to get you to spend less money. First thing you can do is whatever you want, write it all down on a list. Wait 30 days before actually trying to buy it. The thinking behind this is that it reduces impulse buys. Oftentimes when you wait a while, it would also reduce in price. Whenever I kept a list of things I actually want, I find that I would actually cross things off because those things that I wanted before were no longer desired. The second thing you can do is look at a similar item that's 2 to 5 years old, and then you can see how much it actually depreciates. If whatever you want to buy is actually too new, you should look at an older model and check out what the price it is today. Oftentimes you'll see that prices reduces greatly after 2 to 5 years, especially for electronic items. Seeing that it depreciates so much, this may deter you from actually wanting to buy that item anymore. The third thing you can think about is the high markup prices of some items. If you go into a retailer like Best Buy, they actually buy products from other companies to sell to you. Now they buy it at a great discount and they sell it to you up to 100% over what they pay. Now this doesn't apply to high price items like TVs and laptops where the markup is roughly 10 to 15%. So knowing that you're actually paying for their large profits and actually to run the store may actually deter you from buying that item. The fourth thing to think about is that whenever you buy an item, it may require a lot of accessories. For example, a game console may require you to buy another controller, buy a bunch of games, buy some cables, buy some rechargeable batteries, and also buy some VR gear or whatnot. By the time you buy all this, it's going to be 3 or 4 times the original price of the console. Same thing with 4K TVs. Once you buy into this 4K business, you have to buy a player to play the 4K. You may also want to buy a 4K camera after this and also media in order to put into your 4K player as well. The fifth thing to consider is to borrow or rent it first. A lot of people have a lot of items that are just used once or twice. If you get into the habit of borrowing or renting first just to make sure you really are going to use this thing long term, then you may save a lot of money in the long run. The sixth thing you can do is actually being organized at home because this reduces your chance of buying duplicates at the store. When your home is disorganized, you may have a whole bunch of things that you bought already and it will be in the back of the cupboard and you didn't even know it's there. So you think you ran out of the item and you go to the store and buy another one. You'll notice if you ever go from a cluttered home to an organized home, you'll see that there's a lot of duplicate items after you do your cleanup. All of these items, if they're consumables, they can be consumed. However, if you bought like 10 pairs of scissors, then really you can't do much with that many extra scissors. The seventh thing is kind of counterintuitive, which is to not buy the lowest price, but the lowest cost per year to own that item. The thinking here is if you buy an item that's too cheap, it may be not very durable and it would break multiple times in a year and then you have to just rebuy that cheap item again. So, however, you should not get caught up in buying the most expensive item because you think it's really high quality and it'll last you a lifetime. This is because even if it lasts a lifetime, you may be overpaying for the per year cost. What you actually want to do is buy the lowest ratio of the price of the item divided by the number of years it would last. The eighth way to get yourself to spend less is to look at the price of the item and see how much you would be losing out on in your retirement if you saved it instead. If you assume you invested this money properly, you'll get an average return of 8% every single year. Over 30 years, this is about a 10-fold increase. If you're spending $1,000 on something, you can actually think of yourself losing $10,000 in retirement. If you're buying something like a $30,000 car, you're actually reducing your retirement net worth by about $300,000. The ninth and final way to reduce spending is to reduce spending on food by learning more about it. Just to give you an example, you know all those shredded cheese? Well, they put cellulose in it. And do you know how you get cellulose? They start with wood pulp. Yes, wood from trees, and they put all these chemicals in it in order to extract the cellulose. This cellulose is what they put in all these cheeses to keep them from clumping. They also put cellulose in a lot of different foods. Now, cellulose from vegetables are just fine, but cellulose from trees that is processed through all these chemicals is not so good for you. Tailpipe meat means they use carbon monoxide inside the packaging of red meat in order to keep them redder, so you would actually buy it quicker. Now, they put a small amount in it. I certainly don't want to eat too much of this. If you go in the middle aisles of the supermarket, most items are filled with preservatives, lots of sugar, and those canned foods are usually filled with a lot of salt. Just eating one can will give you enough salt for the whole day. I hope you guys enjoyed the psychology of spending less. Don't forget to give me a like on this video, comment down below, let me know if this helps you spend less. If you're interested in supporting this channel, don't forget to check out my Audible link down in the video description below, where you can get a free audiobook, and if you cancel before the trial period ends, you can still keep the book and you can still help support this channel. I also have a Patreon link over here, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.